if you really are committed to working through everything, you also take it on together. And I guess just when she was like, I would be unhappy for 5 to 7 years, that just doesn't feel like they're working on it together. Even after we talk about this, it's not going to be ingrained in my mind. I'm not going to have
a countdown.
You get a whole year, you know.
like those little, there hasn't been an injury in the workplace in 5 days. You'd be like, I haven't been happy in 6 days.
Like you said before, like if you're being abused or like if things are really bad and you invest 100%
right.
and you're putting everything into it and nothing is still happening, you pick whatever timeline feels best for you. But that is the only circumstance.
And I think the thing is, like, too many people get caught up on the word happy too, right? Like, you're not entitled to happiness. And if you chase happiness in life, that's the sure formula for finding misery. You have to chase fulfillment. You have to do the things, not just because that's where people get lost, is they're like, oh, well, I'm not happy right now, or I'm not happy in the relationship. I'm unhappy with my partner. No, that's not the same thing as what we're talking about. You know what I mean? That those are choices that you make when you compare, when you say you want this. Those are not the things like there's a serious problem or the person's not treating you properly, or you know, that's the thing. And that's where I guess that people get it, is because they're like, oh, I'm not happy. I'm not happy with the situation. I'm not happy with these things.
Well, they got to know that in life, you're not always going to be happy. And that's just a part of life. But it also makes the happy times better. And so I'm not going to sit here and be like, people are never going to have things come up in their marriage that challenges them, and they're going to be unhappy. Like, those things are going to happen in life one way or another. But if you really are committed to working through everything, you also take it on together. And I guess just when she was like, I would be unhappy for 5 to 7 years, that just doesn't feel like they're working on it together. Like, it doesn't feel like a collective sort of fight for the marriage, because that's what I feel like it should be. Like, it really shouldn't ever be one person fighting and the other person not. But I understand, like you said, that sometimes someone will have to carry a little bit more of the weight than the other person. But I think if you overall like fight for the marriage together and like work through things so you can both be as happy as you can be and have the relationship that you want to have, then that also kind of like because until she said that, that never came across in my mind. I didn't even have a time. Like, I didn't even have this sort of thing set up in my mind. And I think people shouldn't. To be honest, like, we're just talking about this because it came up and like logically thinking about it out loud here. But if I'm being honest, even after we talk about this, it's not going to be ingrained in my mind. I'm not going to have
a countdown.
You get a whole year, you know,
like those little, there hasn't been an injury in the workplace in 5 days. You'd be like, I haven't been happy in 6 days. There are 365 days, and then that's it.
Like, I'm honestly not going to even think about this, because I didn't think about it before. I don't feel like I needed to think about it. I still don't think I needed to think about it. And I get where, in her circumstance, she's thinking about it because of the situation she was in. And I think that if people are in an actually bad situation, they should be thinking about it. But I don't feel like I should tell them they should be thinking about it. They're probably already thinking about it. But for most people, I don't think they should be dwelling on, okay, well, if I'm unhappy with my husband for 3 years, I'm going to leave. Or, you know, if he does this, and I'm going to leave after this amount of time. Like you said before, like, if you're being abused or like if things are really bad and you invest 100%,
those are,
and you're putting everything into it and nothing is still happening, you pick whatever timeline feels best for you. But that is the only circumstance. Like, abuse or infidelity, or you are being like,
it would be, I could say, I mean, you could just go say neglect. I think that's
neglected for a long amount of time.
Maybe that's the best way to say it, is abuse, infidelity, or neglect. Because it constitutes neglect, everything that we said.
That's true. That's true. But yeah, I don't think people should dwell on it though. Like, don't write down somewhere, if I'm unhappy for 6 months in my marriage, I'm leaving, you know, like, because what you said is true. Like, you made a commitment and you shouldn't diminish that. Like, you really should try to work through every single thing that you can and not get divorced.
Yeah, you didn't promise to be committed as long as you're happy, or that's the thing. So that's why I think happiness is the wrong word. It's the wrong thing. Almost every time someone says happiness, it's the wrong thing. If you look at in their specific circumstance, right, in their relationship, which again you could argue, yeah, you shouldn't be trying to get married, but if Ramses is annoyed with her energy and he doesn't it's almost like if you don't like your partner anymore. They annoy you. You can't handle their energy, whatever it is, whatever excuse you have. But then it's like, do you stay? You're unhappy. Do you stay married? And there, the answer is yes, because that's not something they're specifically doing to you. That's not like you made that commitment. You said, "Hey, I'm going to love you forever." You don't just go back on that because they're now annoying to you, or you don't like them anymore, or you're not attracted to them anymore. Those are not excuses. Those are not reasons. You have to figure that out and figure out, how do you like this person? How do you find the things to like about them? How do you find a way to be attracted to them? Because those are the excuses that people do use that are not good excuses in my They're
very superficial.
Because you made that promise. That is the commitment that you have to. Because if you just took the one that's I'm not attracted to my partner anymore, which happens many times where people. That's not a valid excuse, because you made a commitment. You didn't say someday you're going to be unattractive. Not you. You'll be always attractive, but whoever is thinking that they're going to get old, and so the commitment can't be that light that it's conditional on those those
superficial sort of things.
Right.
Yeah, and I think something that people in those situations should do is write down all the things they're grateful for their partner, and things that aren't superficial, like how they are as a person and how they treat you and all those things. Make a list. Yeah. Because even with normal everyday life, if you practice gratitude, you're going to be happier.
Right.
So right now, a lot of these people might be focusing on these things that honestly, I don't think Ramses even didn't like her energy anymore. I think all of these other things came up, and now he's nitpicking everything else. Where if he had focused on, granted, I don't think they should have gotten married because there was other things, but if he focused on the good qualities about her and was grateful to have a partner that treated him like the way that she treated him, and all the good things, then those things will go away. When you focus on the negative, you just find more and more negative, or they become bigger seeming, right?
Right.
And that's only because you're focusing on them rather than adjusting your mindset and being grateful for the partner that you have who loves you.
Exactly. Yeah.
And all of these other things. You will be happier if you do that. And a lot of people take it for granted, and not even necessarily on purpose, just because we're always with our partner 24/7, right? Or people have been married for 20 years and all these different things. You have to sometimes stop this downward spiral and be no, this is all the things I actually have that I took for granted and I didn't see because I was blinded by this, this, and this. Yeah. So before you just go and sign the divorce papers, you need to do everything that you can, and you need to figure out all the things that you are grateful for in the situation that you're in.